All right, welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a few days. I am your designated Inquirer. Welcome back to Market Day. It's 10/12 of 2020. There has been quite a ruckus over the past few days, and as to what's going to happen here in the future is kind of hard to tell. But the current conditions are as follows: that we are currently overbought, okay, to an extreme. Before this, had we gotten that high before? Nope, we had not gotten that high before. Okay, we went basically vertical today. It was a high amount of volume. It's for what reason exactly, it's kind of hard to tell, because is it that people are confident that we're going to be getting a stimulus package before the election? I don't think so still. Why? Because Senate Republicans are only focused in getting their Supreme Court nomination in right now. There is still a fracture among Republicans to get any sort of stimulus passed, and or there's not enough push from Mitch McConnell to even bring it up to the floor. It doesn't even seem like a priority, considering that what he sees is the possibility of Donald Trump losing, and any stimulus that would be passed right now would be to the benefit of Democrats. That's just the way he sees it. Whether or not that's correct or morally right or reprehensible is not what I'm speaking to. It is simply what seems to be his perspective and what his actions are telling us. Okay? Nancy Pelosi, sorry. Spit went down the wrong pipe. It's not the Rona. Anyway, Nancy Pelosi, on the other hand, has taken it completely different, different perspective. Just not interested in passing anything at the moment on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, with Nancy Pelosi, what it seems to be the case is that there seems to be a incredible willingness to come and stay at the table to negotiate. With whom? None other than the White House, because the Senate Republicans are nowhere near the negotiating table. They're not even present at most of the times that they happen to be negotiating. And Mitch McConnell himself hasn't even been to the White House since August. And well, we know now why, because he doesn't think that the precautions taken at the White House aren't sufficient for what he needs, considering that he's really old. And I'm surprised Chuck Grassley even made it to the Judiciary Senate confirmation hearings today to be the chair of those hearings, when Mike Lee was standing right behind him speaking to Lindsey Graham, who has yet to be tested, and for Mike Lee, who was positive as of 10 days ago, and there's no indication that he has yet to test negative, and he could still be basically infectious. So that's where they are at. The Supreme Court nomination is taking center stage right now, and that seems to be the only thing legislatively is getting done whatsoever at the moment. So the chances for stimulus to happen before the election, like a couple days before, when already there is record numbers of people already voting, doesn't seem to be likely. And if anything, I think Mitch McConnell knows that the majority of the people that happen to be voting super early right now, and probably do reflect the way the polls are looking at the moment, which is heavily favored toward Biden, considering how many days there are left, and the gap is not necessarily tightening but widening still, is not a very good indication for the prospects of the incumbent president at the moment. That's just statistically what it looks like. We can take a look at 538, we can take a look at a lot of things, but more importantly, for what happened here in on the chart here for the NASDAQ, is that this past Tuesday, last Tuesday, okay, basically a week from now, last Tuesday we hit oversold. Okay, and in being oversold was when Donald Trump went and it went oversold because he basically said that negotiations were done. Soon after that, overnight, he changed his tune, and every day since then has been a harder and harder push from the White House to get a deal done. The negotiations and reciprocal negotiations from the Democratic side by Nancy Pelosi has more or less been very tepid, light on the gas, not very accepting, but being very firm with what she wants. Any of that, any confirmation that A, that there's still negotiations happening, and B, that they're moving anywhere near closer to each other, is reason enough for the market, or at least for what it's telling us, that the market is taking that as a positive sign, an indication that a deal can get done. But without any Senate Republican help. So that still doesn't seem to be the case that it's actually going to happen. And whether or not we have been overbought here since Friday and all of today. Today, the market basically went vertical. We're overbought. Tomorrow, that could be the end of it. And it could fall back down to point of control until we know more, until we see basically a hand from the Senate to tell us, hey, we're going to move in this direction, or no, we're not going to move in this direction at all, in which case you'll probably see a symmetrical fall to the downside, maybe to this buying area right here. But that's how I'm looking at it right now. It's been incredibly frustrating to see that no indication from the Senate has been enough to push stocks higher, and only indication from the White House has been with the House staying put in what they want to pass. And still, the White House is pushed in every which way but the way that Democrats want, which to a lot of people it may not seem important, but there is a reason why the negotiations are happening the way they're happening. But we can save those reasons for another day. But that is what is happening generally to the market. If we look at the ES, there is relatively small differences in strength of these moves, whether or not we see this later on as a point of rejection and or we overtake it. This 52-week high has yet to be seen, but as of right now, it seems to be incredibly strong as far as momentum is concerned. We can have, unless we go all the way down into negative momentum here, we're probably going to be going somewhat lower, but not necessarily break trend. Okay, we might hit this line again here, which is the 52-hour average, which if we go to the day, let's take a look here what that could be on here. Could be, it might be this line. It's kind of hard to see exactly what I was seeing here in the 2-hour. This one. Okay, so it's this dip right here, which is on 9:29. Let's take a look at 9:29. I still have that water stuck. Spittle. 9:29 right here. Okay, 9:29. Here, there is no line there. There's no line there. But the market did bounce off of the 200-day a little while back. So that is very interesting to see. Yeah. In any case, yeah, that's what we're dealing with at the moment. On the ES. ES looks stronger. Some may say because of the rotation that was kind of happening between the NASDAQ and the cyclicals, which are more present on the S&P 500 versus the NASDAQ. And then we've got some pretty decent movement off of Bitcoin. TC here. which is moved up to 11,655. If there is no stimulus here by basically election day, as I've been saying, we can expect the dollar to strengthen. Okay, and still, even though some people have had their fun and have taken some gains off of the past 4 days or so, past 4 trading days and or 5 trading days, whether or not it can continue remains to be seen. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but momentum is there, and you also have a couple of things that are basically helping the market. So let's take a look real quick at the XY dollar sign. We're gonna be right here. Basically, the dollar has been falling, but may have found resistance here at 93 as far as strength. And it seems to be a pretty decent place for it to turn around if it decides to turn around. This is the 50-day, 200 days up here. Yeah, we'll see here what happens, whether or not we have another crossover over this 50-day or not to the downside of these two right here, which can happen, but may or may not actually come to fruition. That's a 34, and this is a 50. This is a 50. Simple moving average versus adaptive, and that's why. So I'm going to take off the adaptive real quick. Move steady. Yes, there we go. That makes it more simple to see. Now, just for my sake, save drawing set. Study, save study set. Volume save. Yes. Okay. Oh, did I do that right? Maybe? Oh, maybe I didn't. Anyway, yeah. So this is where we're at the moment. You guys, oh, in Pokemon news, there was a card, that went for. That one. Oh, I think it's this one right here, and it was. It went for $220,000. A first edition Shadowless Charizard. Which is like in Pokemon trading card game is the holy grail of the hobby. It's like your Mickey Mantle, it's like your Wayne Gretzky, it's like your Michael Jordan, or whatnot. Like whatever equivalent to high dollar asset in other hobbies. That's basically it. In terms of now, there were two that were recently auctioned. One that happened like maybe 3 months ago, which was at 75,000, and this past weekend, which went for 220,000. Both were purchased by the same company, and now we know who it was purchased by, which was by Logic, the rapper, the entertainer. Now, Logic, we know, met with at least from everything that I've seen, had met with Gary Vee a little while back. Whether or not he told them or they talked to get into basically Pokemon cards and or start investing in Pokemon cards, I'm not exactly sure what happened, but more than likely they did talk, and he got heads up that maybe he should be buying these. He also talked to Logan Paul, which this past weekend he also did a box opening of a $200,000 first edition Shadowless box of booster box of Pokemon cards, which each pack was sold for $11,111. So for each pack, he basically he made quite a bit of money, because there would be 360, almost $400,000 on that box. If he would have charged $11,111 for each one, I think, because that would be another 36,000 on top of the 360, so that would be 9,600, really close to $400,000. So he almost doubled his money in selling those packs and opening them live on YouTube. Apart from that, he created a whole lot of hype, and he did it at the same time as that auction was live, closed, showing a first edition Shadowless Charizard selling at $220,000. Now the update, apart from that, is that the Blastoise went for basically 30,000, and the Venusaur went for about 25. Now, to put this into context, as of about a year ago or 2 years ago, there were still on the market first edition Shadowless Charizards available on the market for $25,000. So that gives you a perspective as to how much the market has changed and how fast it has risen. But I can probably talk about that in a different video. In any case, I hope you guys had a great day. Yeah, if you guys like what you saw and or liked what you heard, please do like and subscribe. Hit that little bell for notifications, and share with your friends if you guys believe that they should know about these things that I'm talking about as well. So until next time, you guys take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and bye.